Good afternoon. I know it's post lunch. It's very difficult to keep your eyes open. Thank you for coming. So digital marketing, in what it is, every category is up for grabs. It's not anymore any category that's not up for grabs. It works for every category. So consumers have more choice, more power, and more ways to be engaged. So quick one. So if you're there till the end, I request you to. There will be a lot of tips coming, good, bad, ugly for you guys, relevant for you, not relevant for you. But if you can share the story, there's an award. I will pick up the best story that has come up. Tag me and my handle there where we talk about more marketing called Marketing with Lijo. I'm there on Insta. This is the Insta handles. So this is my number. In case I overpromised with 11 strategies and realized it's 30 minutes, I may or may not finish the strategies, the 11 strategies. So I'll go as far as can push my time. So this is my mobile WhatsApp number. If you can scan and you can save my number in case you need to get in touch with me if you have any questions during the presentation. So this was me. This is just to make sure that you remember me, not because there's a lot of presentation, a lot of BNI. This is my hook that I call it, that humanizes me and something that I'm very proud of. So next one, and this is how it is I am. Next. Yeah. Okay. So about me, came to Dubai in 2012, worked across Nokia, Microsoft and the larger corporations. Passionate about fitness, podcast, marketing and tech. About my company, Project Khan established in 2018, something that I started on my own. We cater on 20 different industries. We run campaigns in 3 different continents, across 16 different countries, across different categories. So small, big, every kind of client is that we have. Just a snapshot of the kind of clients that we have. We have MNCs, we have SMEs, we are across everything. This is just a sample shot that I could fit into one screen. Okay, let's get started. The digital framework. So who has heard of this digital framework called POEM? Okay, no. Okay, so it's very simple. So you remember POEM whenever you think of a prodigy of a digital marketing for that matter. P stands for paid, O stands for owned or organic, E stands for earned, and I call M marketing automation. So that's pretty much what we do across POEM. So that's a very good thing to remember on what we do as a business. So what you will take away from this is to get better conversions led videos, structured lead generations, write powerful creatives, get better content plan and rethink search strategy. Now it's not about what I present today. This is about what you should take away from the presentation. That's more important. And whenever you do think marketing, it's not what you have to sell. It's what the consumer takes away from your brand, and that you will find it through my presentation. Quick one, using videos to drive conversion. What do you think is the most hated button for a video content maker? It's a skip ad. Why? Because humans' attention span is less than of a goldfish right now. It's as bad as that. So if you can go to the next skip button. So I'll just skip this skip ad button. I don't know how many of you have kids that can't even wait for the content, skip episodes, skip everything. Everything is skipped, right? So it is becoming more and more difficult for you to hold that one. So this is a strategy that we try to do in every content that we make for video. So make sure the problem statement, you got 2 seconds for the consumer to be hooked on you. That's it. Anything more than 2 seconds, if you want to hook that consumer, you're all wishing for something. It's not going to happen. So the problem statement has to be very clear. The explain by hooking in, make sure the big reveal comes in immediately. Make sure you maintain connections, because when you get revealed, then you have to make the connect, right? And make sure that the product explanation and the call to action is very strong. So the first 2-3 parts is so essential for you to make sure that the content is working for you. Next, Jatin. So this is something that we did for one of our clients as a case study of what we are saying. So what we did was, and it's a very boring category. I took one of the most boring category, blood glucose machine, right? It's very difficult to find somebody who has got diabetes in the entire social media world. So we took that category, we made the hook, we made 2 different hooks. Something that will make him save strips. The brand had a very strong messaging, second hand strips, blah, we narrowed it down to a very, very clear messaging, 2 different messaging. We A/B tested both the videos and we try to see which was giving us more engagement, more than engagement, who retention. So video retention is one word that you need to ensure, that for how long did they end up watching the video, right? So we did this A/B testing, we had amazing results. So if you see video 1, video 2, we had 95% retention on video 1, which is they went on to see 95% of the video, which is it's a very high benchmark to achieve. The second video did little worse because the hook was not so strong. We had 68-64%. Now we know which is the winning horse, and we invested behind that video to make sure. We made sure that we got that strategy right. Jatin? So what did numbers say? Very high retention of 90%. It increased traffic to the website by 2.5 times, and the conversion led that 3x to the website. So that's how important it is to get your video strategy right. Next one, getting the search strategy right. When we think search, you think there's this universal world of search, right? There is consumers behave universally as a search, but consumers behave in search in 3 different ways. Okay, there is this part which is called educational, research, and purchase decision. Educational, I'll give a case study which we did for Aster Clinics for search engine. Educational is where we are looking at being educated, right? We are not looking for a solution, we are not looking to buy anything, we are still at an education stage. I don't know how many of you know WebMD as a website, right? So whenever you search medical thing, they are right there for education, right? They do not trying to sell something to you, but they're trying to educate you. So if you get a consumer at the search stage of education, that consumer knows about your brand well before buying. So it's important to make sure that you're not there only on search when they're looking at conversion. So this is a case study. So for Aster, what we did was we made a content pillar of symptoms of diseases, preventive care, health benefits, right? So the consumers, when they were searching for those kind of products, they were there when we were there when the search was happening. Second was for services provided and various benefits. It's only at the third stage. So most of the SEO strategies leaded to buy in Dubai, top company in Dubai. No, that's of course you will be there, and that's the part where it's extremely competitive. The less competitive is where at the part at the top of the funnel where they're trying to get educated about the category and a little more broad based. Give them an exposure to the brand, and you will make amazing progress in making conversions. Now, how to write powerful headlines? Next slide, Jatin. Who doesn't agree with this? No, it's okay. You can disagree. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So I put some quick riders. So things to avoid while doing it. Okay. First one, giving away the answer in the headline. Right. I have written 2 different copies. Okay. Copy 1 is feeling anxious, drink green tea instead of coffee. Okay. Versus feeling anxious, instead of drinking coffee, try this. Which one will you click? Exactly. Right. It's a very simple trick. Don't give away the answer. Second one, not twisting the knife. Sorry for being so strong about it. So example 1 is how to make more money. Right. Second one is addressing the pain point of the consumer, how to make more money so you can finally stop working the job you are. So that's the thing. It's not about how to make more money. Which one do you think you're going to click? Second, exactly. Next, not showing the transformation, right? Example, the 4-hour work week. Now, when a consumer reads that 4-hour work week, he says, so? And what does 4-hour work week mean? Nobody will do any hard work for you. You have to make sure you dumb it down to the consumer. The 4-hour work week, escape the 9 to 5, live anywhere, join the new rich. So that becomes very aspirational. So in the interest of time, I have got a lot more on this. So I'll just put the headlines. There are 4 more to not to this. Jatin, if you can just scroll for one second. Headline 4, going for the clever instead of slow this one. Headline 5, using language that is too niche. Not telling the reader how to feel, settling for a weak promise. That's it. So how did we do? So we try this out with our existing clients. So how many of you know the brand called Fonterra? Not a company called Fonterra. It's not the brand called Fonterra. Company called Fonterra. Exactly. So they are into making Anchor. Have you seen the Anchor milk powder? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So they are a New Zealand based company. They are even the guys who supply the back end of Tunido. if you know the Nido, the milk powder company. So that's the company we work for. We made sure that we tested out different email campaigns with different kind of headlines, which will get them. So we had an open rate from 12% to 40.15% open rate, because we work deep in A/B testing all of those email headers. We know what the consumer wants, we'll get the hook point right, and we use the guidelines that we spoke about quickly. And if you can skip to the go to the next slide, there is a do list, and this is even more bigger, right? So I don't have time for this, it's much more longer. So if you have not scanned my mobile number in the beginning, maybe you can reach out to me after this thing, and I can take you through this entire list of to-do list to when you write copy. Influencing consumers to buy more. There's some concept called influence maps. Now, Jatin, let's stay there. So this is a visual framework. Step 1 of a consumer journey is problem discovery, where they discover what is my problem, right? Let's take any. Let's take the Astra example, right? I have got some diabetes that I have to take care of. I am at a problem discovery stage. Then comes, okay, I'm at a problem discovery stage. I look at brands, right, who can solve my problem. Then you come to the brand awareness stage. Then comes, you educate yourself further, right, on what are the different options. Is the doctor good? Is the doctor bad? Where has he done his stuff from, right? And then he finally goes for the solution. So consumers goes through this mentally, without every one of you goes through the solution for anything that, and the higher the category in which there is involvement, be it health, be it food, it's even more difficult, right? So, and where do you find them? Jatin, the next one more click, yeah. So problem discovery, is it all online? No, you ask your friends, you ask your families, you ask reports. It's through email, through podcast, right? You may just hear some podcast. I hear a lot of podcasts, and let me be like problem discovery. A lot of my clients' digital problems, I don't have all the answers. So I listen to a lot of problems, and I discover problems and brands and through my podcast. I spend 30% of my listening, or 70% of my listening into listening to podcasts. Stay there. Brand awareness. We'll go back. Brand awareness can be billboard, radio. So if any agency comes to you and say everything is digital, please just show them the door. Everything is not digital, right? The human intervention is very, very important. It's important to get the human story right. Next one. Rethinking lead generation. Okay, when you think lead generation for your business, first principle is the rule of 1. And what would that be? Because every business owner I go to, everybody has 10 things to sell, right? I have to do this, I have to do that, I want to do this, but the consumer does not have for your 10 things. How do you make it a rule of 1? How do you make that one single message? It's that what we do. We work very closely with the brand. What is that one single message the consumer needs to take away on their landing page, on your banner, on your social media, everywhere? If you're going to have 10 messages with the overload of communication digital, nobody has the time to kind of understand what your message is. So make sure there's the rule of 1 is followed. Next one. What do your consumer know already? And that is something I do not know, right? I do not know what my consumer knows or does not know at the stage when I'm showing him the campaign, right, or showing the social media. It's kind of universal. Only people I know is when they're searching on Google Ads. So there are 5 stages to very quickly. So they're either unaware completely, they don't know anything, or they're aware of the problem that they have. They're aware of the problem, they know the solution to that problem, right, or what I need to do for solution. Once I am aware of the solution, I know what product will give me that solution, right? Then comes the final step, most aware, where I have complete understanding that this is my problem, this is how it's going to be solved, this is a solution, this is a service provider, this is what it is, right? Now, for example, let's say when you're shopping on Amazon, right? You know that this product is available on Amazon, right? So you know, you're most aware. You go and search for that product directly. All that you need is, I'll come to that, all that you need. So next one. So I'll just run through what. So your most aware is proper food product. He just knows to know the deal, right? What discount are you giving, right? Like Hassan, for example, he's got, sorry Hassan, I picked on you. So he's selling air fryer, right? He's giving a 15% discount. Now his problem is at his there's a chance that is most unaware, right? So people are saying I'm giving a 15% discount. I don't know this brand. I will not buy it, right? But if it's Black & Decker, I'm just being honest over here. Black & Decker 15%, okay, I'll buy it because I know the brand, I know what solution, I exactly know service center. There's so many things, right? Will I get a service? Are you available? How long have you been in this country? There's so many questions. That's the most aware consumer. All they need to know is the deal that you're going to get for the most aware. The next, product aware, knows what to sell, but isn't sure it's right for them, right? They're aware of the brand, they know the solution. It's not. They're not sure if it's right for them. Your prospect knows the results he wants, but not sure the product. For example, I use air fryer a lot, right? So I ask him like, what if it sticks to this thing? I'm not sure. I'm going a step back, right? Will it stick to this thing? So I'm not aware if it solves all my problem, right? Then previous one, problem aware. Do I even need an air fryer, right? And then finally, completely aware. So I think we'll have rushed through. You got the gist of thing. So what, Jatin? So what does it mean in terms of action points, right? So we know what is aware, unaware to the most aware. Stories and secrets. So you tell them more stories and secrets. Going back to the example that we spoke about, we tell them stories, 7 secrets of taking care of your health, right? You get them in with that. You're not selling a brand, you're servicing a provider. Benefits and anxieties. So what are the benefits when you are aware, want to solve the problems? Claims and proof. Most aware, product and price. There are a lot of businesses that you do, right? All that they want to know because you have been doing the business for the 5 years, 10 years, new product. Okay, just tell me the price. They are so strong in your trust. Now a lot of business owners would have started a new business line, right? Then still if the trust is most unaware, then they will start maybe with the claims and proofs. What claim do you have? Show me a case study, right? Jatin? How to increase the quality of leads, right? So there are 2 types of leads. There is leads and there are conversion leads. So Jatin? So this is something that we did in terms of conversion leads. So conversion leads, Facebook leads it's math. We did it for Cornell University. How many of you heard of Cornell University? Great. So it's an old university, it's from 1852. So we are doing lead generation for them across Middle East, Africa, APAC, one country, because the time zone difference, US, it's very difficult for us to do lead generation over them. So what we do is that the lead generation talks directly to the CRM of Salesforce. So it's a conversion lead. So it's where there's a direct conversation that is happening on lead generation. There is no lag between lead generation and how many have heard of MQL and SQL? Okay, MQL is marketing qualified lead. So lead that is qualified through all the campaigns, social media, SEO, lead form, landing page, etc. Sales qualified lead is where the actual human intervention takes place and you talk to somebody, right? That's where sales say, okay, this 40% lead is bad, 30% lead is good, and 20% is, that's where sales qualified leads come. The lower the gap, smaller the gap, the best is for this thing. So this is our lead generation form that we did for the client. You can roll through it, high influence. So, okay. So we have a unique platform called WOOP, Woman of Opinion. So we do campaigns for large brands like Unilever. This is an example that I'll show right now of Shan, where Jatin, I'll just explain before. So it's about we have around a database of 65,000 women that we talk to everybody knows there is influencers, micro influencers, nano influencers. These are normal women who love to talk. They feel like influencers. They give them samples. They give feedback. They share on social media. This platform lets you reach places where the ads don't reach, like WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, right? They share with us and we give them points. We have a sign off with an NGO in India called Nannikali. So there was a certain percentage of that goes to that. So Whoop, if you can just run the video. Okay, it's quite a long video, but essentially what the problem Shan came with us is saying that Shan as masala, there's a high penetration of Shan masala in the North Indians and Pakistanis. So they wanted to have a stronger brand penetration with the Arabs and the South Indians, because they were planning to launch sambar masala with them. And I have a very interesting anecdote. So when they launched it, my wife sent my son to get sambar masala, and of all things he bought a Shan sambar masala. My wife was angry, let me just put it that way, because the flavor did not match. Sorry, I should not be bad, but then basically the whole purpose of this campaign was to bring in a new set of consumers that they were always struggling with. And when berserk, we had just 2,000 samples. There were almost 24,000 views of this thing. We had to cut short the campaign in a certain period of time before we could say that okay, this is enough, that we had, and the reviews were amazing. Content is king. Who believes that? Awesome. Who knows what to do? Great, I agree with you. You do amazing content. Okay, now so journey map. So one of the biggest challenges anybody makes the content is they look at how does the graphic look like. Now we do not know what messaging should go. What is the trigger that will make them view that content? Now unfortunately today the world has come down to making it everything is TikTok, everything is Reels, right? But beyond the fun is an element of engagement, right? So the question back, what is that trigger, right, that will make the consumer engage with that video? You need to have that understanding, and I'll come to that. How do you do the journey maps? What influences them, right? Direct or indirect? Direct through the ad, indirect. Like for example, if somebody is indirect, like the decision is taken by the father, right, and the kid is going to use it, how do you indirectly influence, right? What is the value proposition? What are they going to get for that money? If you do not say that in that creative, it's in the not creative for that matter content. And what are the motivation and frustrations, right? Now for example, at one point of time, one of the frustrations online was delivery, right? Delivery charges, right? Now that frustration, now if you say that delivery on the same day, it's like okay, big deal, right? So what are the frustrations the consumer faces if you do not address that in the ad copy, if you do not address that in the creative, it's lost, right? So it's very important for you to have that. So what is the content marketing gold? Remember, always understand what a consumer cares for and what are the trigger points, what matters to them and what your marketing goal is. So it's important that you have that content goal. Next. Okay, what we did taking this strategy is to we stuck to the same category of blood group. We did a campaign in Ramadan, right? So we created the series called Ask the Expert. So we did not know what were the triggers at one point of time, right? So we created this campaign where we got Ask the Expert campaign, where people were expected to ask what they want to ask the expert. It was a doctor, endocrinologist doctor, right? So we asked the campaign, we reached out to them, organic method of Facebook, Instagram, and we created a lot of content which reached a huge amount of people who are interested in sort of. When we worked with this doctor based in Egypt, this was for the Egypt market. We are now planning to replicate it in a different format for the UAE market for the same client base. So it's very interesting that how content can be planned and made connect with the consumer than just blind TikTok or fun videos that does not relate to business, right? So this is a very interesting thing. So next one, what did it do? We had 4.8 million impressions, 1.9 million video views, 185 conversations around the brand, and website traffic went up 3.2x. So this is the difference that makes if you have a very clear content strategy rather than okay, an amazing looking creative with no sense or purpose of what the consumer needs. Okay, this is completely off topic. This is almost like selling my service because we do it for a client. So Amazon ads. So how many people buy on Amazon? Great. Okay, this is the time. So I had people who came in late. I'm giving a prize for sharing on social media. And if you were so engrossed that the presentation was supremely awesome that you were so engrossed, I'll remind you to remind you again for people who are here. So if you share the tag marketing with Lijo and Lijo YouTube on your Instagram handle. Okay, so this is there are 5 different ways. So how many of you have added to the cart, okay, the same product, 3-4 products, and deleted 2 of them, 3 of them, and decided? That's it? I would assume everybody. Okay, you're very clear at the buying stage, right? It is like putting into a shopping bag and then deciding to, right? So one of the key measures that we call is the buy box percentage, right? What percentage of the people who go on to buy, add to the cart, end up buying the product, right? Then there is feedback analysis, unit percentage. I will not go into the technicalities of it in the interest of time. And the Q&As, because it's very important we respond. So we did it for a client. It's a brand called Himmel. It's a brand that is part of the Schneider brand. Who have heard of Schneider? So it's very quaint. I did not know about this brand. When I walked in for the first time to them, I realized that it's a Chinese collaboration with a French company, and they had there's no brand endorsement in any of the product. You don't find the name. It's a completely different vertical. They say in the same office in DSO, but it's a different product line. So what was the results? Organic rankings went up to the top 5, and the buy box percentage went up by 35%. So that's the kind of stuff that we do Okay, this is something that I get always. Do I do a .com or a .ae, right? I'll just keep it on this slide. I will not go into the technicalities. I will skip those slides. I will just talk about it. I think otherwise the visual gets a little it gets a little technical over there. First of all, whatever website you make, think of consumers. Doesn't matter .com, doesn't matter .ae. It's how do you add value to the consumer life. Google's job is not to make sure your website. Google's job is to give the answer that they ask for. When a consumer asks for the answer, your website should have that answer. If it does not have that answer, it will go to the next website. So the biggest difference between .com and .ae is the fact that .ae is a very strong signal to Google saying that this is a UAE based website, right? A .com is a little more broad. Of course, you can overcome this by different methods. I think let's give those examples. Something there is now is a country code top level domains. So you have either company.ae or company.in, subdomain company.ae, all has got .ae, .in as this is at a country level, right? At .in, .ae. Next one, option 2 is the subdomain, where the country comes in as a subdomain, right? ae.subdomain at .com. So what it does also helps you is make sure that your SEO that you work for, each of those pages depend, and also the duplication of the content is not, it does not exist. So then there are other examples, which is one more, Jatin. The subdirectories, where I don't know if you've seen these international websites, right? If you go to philips.com, right? So the way you will recognize that page, based on geolocation, they will target you to that page, which will be philips.com/ae_en/ whatever that page category is. So that's kind of the pages that's there. Okay, so that's it. So this is my LinkedIn profile, QR code. So whoever wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, who are not yet connected with me on LinkedIn, it would be great if you want to scan that. Okay, I've got, you should come with a red flag, man. It's just like, I'm only looking at Diksha's green. Okay. Okay, quick one. So I got 2 minutes. So if there are any questions, couple of questions, I am open to answer it. There is not much. So you can scan on this QR code to connect with me. But if there is no questions, you can ask me in private or wherever you can. I am Vijay, I'm part of Insomniac's chapter. So if at all you book a visit Insomniac's chapter, I'm more than happy to answer these questions. Thank you.